Hello, everybody. Sorry this took a couple of extra days, but that's the way it goes. The legal arm of the USA, along with the Five Eyes, the five English speaking countries, the English language nations, in other words, NATO and our other allies, have been trying to make headway against organized crime for quite some time now. And they have effectively done it. It's taken them about 60 years, but it's been chased out of most of the little arms of the law. The Russia has been lending money and strong-arming Trump supporters and Trump himself, along with blackmail for his sexual proclivities. And both Russia and China have been lending money and manipulating Biden. So this is both the Democrats and the Republicans. It's both sides. And so please don't tell me that it's one or the other. It's not. It's both of them. It's all parties of political life here. And thank God for our intelligence agencies, the ones who keep being attacked by both sides. They have helped create a more streamlined life for all of us here in the U.S. Both candidates in this case are deep in the pockets of our enemy governments. Neither party leaders actually believe any of the things they say they do. They know they're not going to get away with anything that goes against our Constitution or the will of the people. And the will of the people is to take care of Americans because we're all Americans. That's what it comes down to. Don't believe them about taking our Social Security away. That's not happening. Or taking away welfare, or taking away the rights that people, bigots don't like, no matter who they are, because they may be people you don't like, they're still Americans, and their rights directly link with yours, okay? So if you don't want your rights infringed on, don't infringe on other Americans' rights. Now, they just can't trash any of the things that they say they want to because they know they can't. Our rights are guaranteed by our Constitution. The Constitution is not some silly little paper that gets talked about on important national holidays. It is, in fact, the law of the land. It is the law, and they have to go by it. They can't get away from it. The legal arm goes after them if they don't. And that's why it's so important that the legal aspects of our country have been freed from the illegal aspects. And that's why they go after laws. That's why we have too many laws. No, we don't. We have just enough. And the ones who don't want us going by laws are the illegal facets of the country, the criminals. They're the ones who don't like laws. Okay. What's going on is all coming to the surface. The outlaws are being flushed out. And old Trump talked about wanting to clear up the swamp or whatever. He was the swamp. He and Biden are both the kings of the swamp. That's why they're in the positions they are. And before that, it was Clinton, it was whomever, okay? Now, before those days, the days of Goldwater and the people who actually talked about needing to take care of people, those days were before they took over. And if you want to know who killed Kennedy, it's pretty easy to find out when you look at the details. Now, I'm doing this so I could see my notes. The, um, the outlaws are now surrounded. The legal arms of our country have them sort of backed into corners, and we're going to see a lot of scary stuff for a while. There, we have little arson teams out setting fires, and thank God for our police. We need to better fund our police. And of course, we also have to get the little teams of from other countries who've sneaked in to the borders. And yes, we have to protect our borders, not against poor Mexican people. Okay, those aren't the problems. The borders have to be defended against enemy agents coming through. The if it's illegal, it's going to hurt any American, and we don't want that to happen. Now, when we have more freedom, the rich guys make more money. The honest rich guys, the ones who aren't in trying to, commit crimes and smuggle little children over into areas so they can molest them, those people. They're the problem in our society. Now, when election day comes, and it will, no one's cutting down the, not even on October 6th, even though that was the point of Trump and his battalion, which Biden and his battalion were helping because they were going to use it in their political thing. Neither side really thought they were going to overthrow the Constitution. Pence was there for that reason. So thank God for Mike Pence. He was put there for that reason. And Trump has serious mental problems like Biden does. That's why they're where they are. So, jamming central laws on people is the way to destroy rights. It's not the way, it makes people resist them. That's why putting federal law in to protect minority rights causes problems, okay? It has to be nested into the greater, it's protected by the Constitution, and it has to be read that way. And they know that, okay? Anything else is unconstitutional. Now, we're going to see a lot of scary stuff for a while. There's not going to be any nuclear war. Don't forget that. No one's nuking the planet. Give me a break. They're going to say, Putin's going to be over there going, ooh, nukes. No. And, the Chinese do the same kind of thing. The guy whose name I cannot pronounce, who's the head of the country, he's less overt about it than Putin is, but neither one of them are telling the truth, okay? They're doing other things. They're bringing people in with heat weapons and attacking our intelligence agents. A lot of them, thank God for them, have been attacked and hurt and some killed. We're not hearing about it because they don't talk about it. What's going to happen is attacks to our infrastructure and lights going out, stuff like that. But they've been protected to a great extent too. So it's not going to be horrible, but we're already in World War III, okay? It's a battle right now against the world criminal elements. Those are the ones battling us against the legal arms of our society, okay? So at least that's what I can tell. And again, I'm just a human being, and I'm researching and reading, and I think I got it right, but maybe I don't. However, I'm pretty sure I do. Okay. At least about this stuff. All the fires in California? How they popped up out of nowhere? It was all over the place. Watch for the arson arrests. It wasn't anything to do with our forests. It wasn't anything to do with anything, okay? that also there's going to be some Airbnb arrests going on because it was nothing more than a money laundering um, thing. Same thing with eBay. eBay was money laundering to a great extent. It's still going to be around. Nobody's taking it away, but it's going to be a better functioning conduit for buying and selling. Okay. Now here, next time I'm going to have some more about Hollywood and showbiz. Again, from sources of mine, so I think they're right. Um, the first one we'll be talking about is the absurd individual known as Yoko Ono. We know her as an abstract artist um, who supposedly stumbled awkwardly into the life of John Lennon. And she claimed she had never heard of the Beatles when she met John, that she recognized in him his glowing intellect, which, I don't know. But she, yeah, in this era in which they met, the Beatles were on everything. They were on TV, they were in movies, they were all over the radio. And supposedly she had never heard of them. It's pretty easy to see she lied. And how do we know she lied? Because she did. The supposed Beatle virgin Yoko Ono, a year before her fast pass at John Lennon, walked into Paul McCartney's studio and introduced herself. Now, isn't that odd? She, the person I call Agent Yoko, because I think that's who she was sent in by the government to find a way to break up this socially chaotic creative force that has blessed us with so much in our culture. And I'll talk a little more about that too. This is just my opinion, and we'll see how it flies. Soon, I'll also talk about a much sadder tale about a young woman, a young actress who became an adult film worker because that's all she had available to her, who killed herself. She killed herself after she was sexually assaulted by two stars. These are household names, people you would know. And one of them was her own father. That's Hollywood. Until next time, my friends, God bless. Take care.